option, and it is a sad commentary on the Tamil psyche to find a person engaged continuously in a very futile attempt and wasting his time and the Tamil people's time, and ultimately ending up as somebody who is running, who is fighting for a desperate attempt to either extricate himself from this mess or to, without putting an end to war, just to drag on this process meaninglessly.
Daya, why is the LTTE leader dragging this war in spite of the fact that he was invited by the government to lay down the arms and come back to negotiate a settlement after committing so much of crimes towards his own people? Why is he dragging this?
பிரபாகரன் இந்த போரை தொடர்ந்து நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கிறது உண்மைதான். தொடர்ந்தும் மக்கள் இவ்வளவு அழிவுகள், இப்போ மழை அழிவுகள், இடப்பெயர்வுகள், துன்பங்கள், துயரங்களை சந்தித்த பொழுதும் அவருடைய கட்டுப்பாட்டு பிரதேசம் குறுகி வந்த பின்பும் இதை போரை நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கிறார். அதுக்கு சின்ன ஒரு சிந்தனை இருக்கலாம், கடைசி நேரத்தில் தனக்கு ஒரு நாடு வந்து கை கொடுக்குமெண்டு, ஏதாவது நாடு வந்து கை கொடுத்து தன்னை இந்த தனக்கு உதவி செய்யும் என்ற சிந்தனையில் இந்த போர் நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கின்றார். ஆனால் இந்த நாடு எல்லா நாடுகளும் வேறொரு விடுதலை புலிகளை தடை செய்ய நிலையில் தடை செய்திருக்கிறது. அவர்கள் எந்த வகையிலும் உதவி செய்வார்களோ அல்லது இவர்களை காப்பாற்றுவார்களோ நாங்கள் எதிர்பார்க்க முடியாது. எனவே பிரபாகரன் இந்த போரை நிறுத்தி அது ஆயுதத்தை கைவிட்டு ஒரு முடிவுக்கு வருவது நல்லது என்று நான் கருதுகின்றேன்.
George Master, can we assume that Prabhakaran is expecting some international support to rescue him even at the last minute?
Yeah, people in desperate situations normally anticipate however remote the chances are for some miracle to happen and for them to be extricated. But unfortunately, such chances as one who could see the international developments, how the international community look at the problem, how the paradigm shift has been after the humanitarian operation was put into effect, one could say no such thing could happen. And therefore it is in vain that he is expecting somebody to give him a helping hand. It cannot happen, definitely. It is not going to happen.
We call that drowning man clings on to the final straw.
Yeah. Even the tiniest straw that comes across, because that is in a human nature. So this person also is no exception, and he probably thinks that somebody will come and extend a hand.
Will there be a final straw for him?
No.
Daya, what's your opinion with regard to that? Will somebody come and help out Prabhakaran?
நான் முதலே சொல்லிவிட்டேன், இவர்களுக்கு ஒரு தரம் வந்து கை கொடுக்க மாட்டார்கள் என்பதுதான் எனது கருத்து.
Suppose that he doesn't earn the international support. In that context, what will be the options available for him? Are there any options available for him if he doesn't get the international support?
நல்லது. இவருக்கு இந்த நிலையில் இவருக்கு மூன்று வழிகள்லாம் இருக்குன்னு நான் கருதுகிறேன். ஒன்று சைனைட்டு கழித்து தன்னை மாய்த்து கொள்வது, அல்லது ஆயுதத்தை வைத்துட்டு சரண்டர் பண்ணி கொள்வது, அல்லது இந்த தமிழ் மக்களை இவ்வளவு பாதாள நிலைக்கு கொண்டு போட்டு வேறு எங்கேயாவது தப்பி ஓடுவதுதான் வேறுக்குரிய மூன்று தெரிவாக இருக்கும் என்று நான் கருதுகிறேன்.
As the remaining cadres and the civilians are rejecting and isolating Prabhakaran, what is the best solution left for these frustrated cadres and the suffering civilians?
அங்கே தங்கியிருக்கின்ற மூத்த உறுப்பினர்கள், எஞ்சிய உறுப்பினர்கள் அவர்களுக்கு நான் சொல்லக்கூடிய சொல்லக்கூடிய நாங்கள் இங்கே வந்து ஒரு பிரச்சனை இல்லாமல் நாங்கள் இங்கே இருக்கின்றோம். அதேபோது அவர்களையும் தங்களுடைய ஆயுதங்களை வைத்து விட்டு இராணுவ கட்டுப்பாட்டுக்கு வந்து வர வேண்டும் என்பதுதான் எனது ஆலோசனையை அவர்களுக்கு கொடுக்க விரும்புகின்றேன். அத்துடன் எஞ்சியிருக்கிற பொதுமக்களும் நீங்கள் உங்கள் இருந்த கட்டுப்பாட்டுக்கு இருந்து வீணாக துன்பப்படுவதற்கு இங்கே வந்த சந்தோஷமாக எதிர்காலத்துக்கு வாழலாம் என்று நான் கருதுகின்றேன்.
George Master, what is your opinion? What can best work for the remaining tiger cadres and the civilians who have been held captive, held hostage by the LTTE in the remaining tiger-held areas? What's the best solution available for them?
As far as the tiger cadres are concerned, there is a special message given by His Excellency the President that they lay down the arms, surrender, they'll be treated in the appropriate manner. That's a clear message, very explicit message. So as tiger cadres, they have to take that message seriously and also see what has happened to those cadres who have already left and in the hands of the military personnel, whether how they are treated and all that, so they can weigh these things and then make a decision to immediately renounce violence, throw away their arms, leave the leader and then come to military controlled areas. For the rest of the people, here let us not forget that displacement for anybody from the natural habitat is not a pleasant thing. Anybody for that matter, whether one lives in Horana, Matara, Attakalampanna or Karavetti or Nirveli or wherever, a person doesn't like to get shifted from his or her natural habitat. That is a natural human tendency. Unfortunately, things have been moving in a direction where people had to move from their natural habitats for reasons of security. That's a very unpleasant situation, but anyway, to safeguard their lives and give time for the government to clear the area and provide them the chance of resettlement and rehabilitation in a more conducive environment. For that purpose, the rest of the population, you know, when I say it, I am telling it with a lot of responsibility as a senior citizen. I know the conditions of older generation people who are sick, who cannot move from place to place. It's a very difficult situation for them to move from that area and walk into the military occupied areas. It is very difficult, but however, it has become an absolute necessity today because that area has to be cleared by the government forces. That has to be done, and therefore the rest of the population also must find their way into areas under government control and thereafter think about the resettlement.
In that context, do you agree that the government of Sri Lanka is taking due care in ensuring that the Tamils who are captured by the LTTE, who are detained by the LTTE, are safely taken away? Otherwise, the government would have, with this massive military strength, would have finished this war overnight. But we have government is continuing to have its patience because it wants to ensure that the civilians are not damaged.
I have heard these sentiments being expressed by many civilians during the last few days when people were observing that it was very much easier according to their calculation. You know, they calculated from the day the humanitarian operation started from MENA and see the progress so they can judge. To take Mathalan, Pokkanai, Valermadam and Mullivaikal, the military won't need even 1 day. You know, it could have been completed in a few hours' time. But the fine sentiment that I observed was, no, the military doesn't want to hurt the civilians. It's probably they want to safeguard the civilians meeting harm, and therefore they are taking careful steps to ensure that the civilians find a way out of this situation safely and then to deal with the militants who remain to fight with them. So absolutely